Right. So you wrote two books, man. So what's some of the like and inspiration, man, behind writing the books, man? Like, did you are they about you? Are they made up, man? What's the story about them?
Well, the books they fictionalize, but they fictionalize with things that I've seen, heard, and been through. So
Right.
it just that's all the components of the books that I write. They fiction books, but they based on just things that happen in the inner city, not specifically in Boston, but all across America.
Right. So like what's the message, man, behind the book? Like I don't want to give away too much, man, but like what's some of the thrilling parts where you can say, man, this is going to capture the audience attention?
Well, for all those that read the book, I'd like to say thank you. But the book is actually it's a page turner, so it's action throughout the whole book. So through the 3 pounds of pressure, that book is actually based on a law that was passed and aimed at juveniles, at violent juveniles. And once you read the book, then you will see why the law was created and how it affects the black communities.
Right. So now 3 pounds of pressure, man, is such a dynamic, title because 3 pounds, as we know in the hood, man, that's what it takes to pull a trigger, man. So to elaborate more on why you named it that and, you know, basically your background on having expertise on that.
Because the reason why I named it 3 pounds of pressure, because that's all it takes to pull the trigger. And
Right.
from a kid to an old lady could pull the trigger. So, I just want to give information and knowledge to those that is willing to um read the book and willing to know and understand that that's all it takes to pull the trigger. And that once you pull that trigger, and then you
Right,
just
right, right.
basically, it's a wrap.
So let me
You
ask you
can't
let me
go
ask you
back.
this. I know you've been in prison, man. You've done a lot of time, man. You obviously reformed yourself. What's some of the things you're looking to do right now, man, as far as giving back to the community and just trying to uplift the youth that's coming underneath you?
So basically, what I'm trying to do is just trying to bring awareness. And by me
Right.
writing my book, it's aimed at the juveniles because I started my life of crime as a juvenile. So by me starting my life of crime as a juvenile, I know that's where it started at. So if I could get it to the head and to the minds of the juveniles, those that's younger than me, who could be easily influenced, either the good or the bad, and then I could deliver that message
Right.
about 3 pounds of pressure and how that's all it takes to pull the trigger. Because once you pull the trigger and you kill someone, then you messing up two families. You messing up your family and you messing up the family of the one that's deceased. And
Absolutely.
and we don't look at that as a youngin. We just look at trying to clout chasing, trying to get clout, trying to gain a rep and stuff like that. But it's not really all about that. It's all about you making the best out of every situation. And if my books and my message could get across to just one person, that one person could help the people that he know.
Absolutely, man. It's all about, man, just trying to reach who we can, man, and let things settle, man. But I know that your history and you was locked up at a very young age, man. What's some of the things that, brought you into the jail system and had you, getting locked up early, man? So talk about, some of your early incarcerations.
So most of my younger crimes was all drug related. So, I went in and out of the juvenile system mainly for drugs. So basically what I did was after I got out of the juvenile system, I graduated straight to the adult system.
Right.
And it was a tragedy for my family because it was a never-ending story with me going to prison and me getting out and going right back. So everyone that knew me at that time just knew that I was only going to be out for a short period of time before I
Right.
went back to prison.
Right. So you
So
was in it. Go ahead. I apologize.
I, yeah, nah. So I was in and out, mainly drugs, guns, a couple shooting cases, but nothing really major. Just
All
mainly
right.
drugs. That's what really helped me.
All right. So you're breaking up a little bit, man. You know,
Yeah.
you're pausing, man, but yeah,
You
we
get
we getting what you're saying. Yeah, man. But yeah, so like a lot of us, man, we went through the steps of just coming out, trying to hang with our friends, trying to fit in, and it went wrong with us, man. So let's talk about your second book. Is that a part two to this? Is that a second edition? What's that about? And what's the name of the
well,
title of that?
well, the second book is called Shattered Dreams. It's a second part of the 3 Pounds of Pressure series. The Three
Okay.
Pounds of Pressure is a book series. So 3 Pounds of Pressure is based on the first person to get charged for a law that is called the Barton's Law. So he
Right.
was the first person to get charged with it. And then Shattered Dreams was the second part of it, and it's about the person that they created the law for. So and when you read 3 Pounds of Pressure, and then you see who's the first person that was charged under the law, and then Shattered Dreams, you read about the person that the law was created for.
Okay. So yeah, so it's basically, man, an extension, man. You get to see the cause and effect. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
you
So
get
I
to
like.
see the cause and effect. You get to see the cause and effect, but you also get to see the reason why they created the law. So I
Right.
broke down the whole history of how laws is made
Talk
and
about it.
things like that. So basically, in Shattered Dreams, you know, uh, um, a politician is the one that actually came up with the idea for the law because
Right.
he wanted his community back. So I broke down the history of the Jews in Boston back in the 70s and the 60s, and then how they took flight to the suburbs like Newton and Brookline, and then how the blacks and the Irish took over all the real estate that they had. So you get to read about, it's a
Wow.
historical fact that's embedded within that book. So the Jewish, they want their community back. So they know in order to get their community back, they got to target the young. So that's why that law was created.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So that's why that law was created. And then, all throughout the book, it's just a lot of dreams of the characters has been shattered. That's why the book is called Shattered Dreams.
Okay. Well,
So
again, uh,
Parallel Shattered Dreams run parallel with 3 Pounds of Pressure. So when you read 3 Pounds of Pressure and you hear about certain characters, and then when you read Shattered Dreams, it's the same timeline. It's not a
mm,
different timeline, it's the same timeline. That's why I
wow.
said it's an offshoot of it. It's the same timeline.
Mm. So
So
I get again,
both
but
books run
wait a minute. I want to apologize for the technical difficulties. If you're tuning in, the Wi-Fi is messing up, so it might be pausing, but you can hear them fine, and that's what's important. You're getting the jewels. Go ahead, Mike. I apologize.
yeah, so the books is running parallel to each other. And so that's it. Shattered Dreams and 3 Pounds of Pressure. That's the
Right.
first
So
two books of the 3 Pounds book series.
So you come from obviously, man, a talented family, man, as far as, man, you and the wife, man. I see that you're doing a lot of big things. You have your own publishing company. Yeah, you coming out with two books, and you're doing working with people trying to, bring their books to life. Talk about some of that, man, and what you're trying to do
So
with your
basically,
unseen.
so, so the company is called Unseen Hands Media. And basically, with
Right,
Unseen Hands Media, we cover everything from photography to graphic design. We cover administration work, whereas we help streamline businesses, like create business Facebook businesses and Instagram, Twitter accounts geared towards business, websites. We help build websites, and anything that got something to do with publishing, we help get it done. You know, from the cover design to the interior design. And one of the things that we started to do recently is help others create their own merchandise for their own apparel. So that's another thing that we just brought into the forefront to help others not only make money, but help others market their material the best way they could through merchandising and apparel.
All right, so let me ask you this. You came out, you're flying with these books. Obviously, I seen two in a year's time. So you're obviously working, man. You know, I see you on a lot of podcasts. What's the next step, man? What's next in line, man, for the God, man?
So next in line, I already got it established. I got my own platform called the Life After Prison. So basically what the Life After Prison is interviewing entrepreneurs who came out and became successful. So, you know, entrepreneurs that did lengthy sentences that came home and became successful business-wise. So we can give the knowledge to others that did time and others that haven't did time, that there is a life after prison. Because once you come out of prison, a lot of people count you out. But they don't know in prison, we got a lot of dead time, whereas either you playing basketball all day, watching sports, watching TV, or studying. See, I was the type to study, and I was studying abroad. And what I mean by abroad is business, finance, anything that can help benefit my mental, I was there doing it. Because I knew that there wasn't going to be another time or another round of me going to prison. So while I was incarcerated, that's when I came up with the idea for the publishing company, because I wrote a couple books while I was incarcerated, and you know, it's not about me reaping the benefits, it's about me teaching others. So I wanted to come up with my own company so I could show and teach others how to start their own, opposed to me being signed to another company and they gaining most of my money for my hard work. So I feel like if I put in the hard work, why can't I reap the benefits and then reinvest that benefits to help others do the same?
Man, I love that, man. Go ahead, I apologize.
That's why we named the company Unseen Hands. That's why we named the company Unseen Hands, because the hands that's helping you is unseen.
Ooh, okay, then, man, Jules, man, you know, hey, man, that's what I like, man. You know, I see that, man, you're putting a lot of effort, man. You're putting a lot of work out there. You know, you have 2 books, man. I'm gonna bring the wife on. She has 2 books, man. And together, collectively, man, y'all are putting together a great platform where it's gonna be amazing, man. So, now that you've done the books, now that you have your platform for where you want to go, where do you want to bring the youth? What tool and what one thing you want to give to the youth where you could think will make a difference in their life, where you're like, okay, this is what you need to know before you go?
Helping them teaching them about entrepreneurship, teaching them about how to be a financier, teaching them how to be the best they can be. You know, because when we, like how I grew up, I never knew no entrepreneur. I just knew people that own businesses. And I really didn't know them. It was people that knew them that I knew. So for example, I'm gonna say you, for example. I might know you and you know this person that owns a store. I'm familiar with that person. What I'm trying to do to the youth is get them and help them learn early on. So later on when you go to prison or come home from prison.
Absolutely.
Because we ain't taught that in school. We ain't taught how to build credit. We ain't taught how to work for yourself. We ain't taught how to budget. So a lot of people, when we go to prison, we automatically think that our family and friends got money to send us, but we don't know that they actually don't got it because the rents might have went up. They might have got their hours cut back to their jobs. So now we become angry at people for things that we created. So if I can help teach entrepreneurship and help others not only start businesses, but help others make the right decision and not decisions based on committing crimes.
Right. Man, see, man, wow, man. Yo, listen, man. You've been amazing, man. I love everything about you. You always come, you're energetic, man. You know, you always got a vibe, man. So like I know we're about to wrap up in a little bit, but I want to know something about, you know, it's summertime, you know, it gets heated up, you know, like the violence is about to start. You know, what path could you take, man, to steer the youth away from, you know, just hanging around the norm, man? What would you say is like a great opportunity for them, man, to just, you know, get away and just stay away from the drama?
Create different types of workshops for them. You know, it all starts with the community that you grew up in. Like, I can't go out and help another community without helping mine first, because mine is that they more familiar with me than any other community. So if I can help mine, then my community can help the other community down the street. So it don't take long to touch and reach out to 1, 2, 3, or 5 people. Once they see everything that you're doing and they see the results of your actions, then they're gonna want to follow suit, because nobody want to be in the street selling drugs their whole life, young or old.
Right.
You know, we did that because that's all we knew. So we knew something different, we would give ourselves a different chance at life, at living. So, you know, I think creating different types of workshops and bringing communities together on a non-violent tip, I think that could work.
Right.
I have a question. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
We have the lovely.
This is a really nice platform because I do get to ask questions in this setup. But I'd like to know, like, you know, yes, we need to create career paths for our young kids, our young people, right? But yet, what do you see? You know, that's what we need to create for the kids. What do we need to do for the individuals that need to create those career paths? You know, what kind of advice would you give to someone who may have the capabilities to say, okay, look, guys, these are the things we need to do to make sure our young kids can come into these positions and roles? What suggestions?
Well, first, it need to be the meeting of the minds, because we all need to know what each person can bring to the table. So if a person really had nothing to offer to the table, then it's up to us. So he can have something to bring to a table, because a lot of people have influence over a lot of people, but they really don't have nothing to offer. So if you know someone that has influence over others, then teach them what you know. It's called each one teach one, according to your own ability. So if I know about credit and you know about budgeting, why can't we come together as one and teach this person about what we know? Right. So now we got 3 people. And us 3, we all go get one. Now we got 6. You know, it's multiplying. So it's so many people out that, you know, even got out of prison that got so much ability, but they ain't using it because they don't have no platform to use it.
Right.
So my next question, I'm sorry, go ahead. Okay. So my next,
go ahead.
My next question would be, is like, what?
We're having a little technical difficulties, but we're.
Okay. Do you think we're back on?
Go ahead.
Now? Okay. Let me go. So
we're on track.
What does it take to keep the young people interested in these kind of programs? Because we could set up the programs, right? and we could have these training opportunities, mentorship opportunities for young kids to get on Zoom, to be involved, learning how to review a resume, ask questions, learning how to take care of their credit, their finances. But what is going to keep them there? Do you know what I'm saying?
What I learned since I've been out, young kids is attracted to money.
Okay.
Absolutely.
They're attracted to money. So once we teach them about the true science of making money, I believe that will capture their attention. Because you can ask any juvenile, inside or outside, if they could do something, what would they do? They might talk prematurely on what they want to do, but they only could tell you what they want to do with their level of thinking. So it all stems from having a form of education where it's enjoyable for them. You don't want to create a platform or a form of education where it's boredom. They ain't gonna come back. So it gotta be some form of enjoyable. Either you could do it through sports or you could do it through workshops. It all depends.
Right.
What kind of advice do you have?
So yeah, man.
May I ask another question?
Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of advice, go ahead.
What type of advice do you have for parents that need to re-engage within the lives of their children?
So, the type of advice I have for parents is, ask your kids questions. Ask your kids what's their reasons for going astray, because that's something that my mother never asked me, and when I was a juvenile, I might not have been honest with her. But one thing that I learned about juvenile or people in general that's in and out of the prison system, we trust other people that have been through it.
Right.
So either you could bring a mentor and have the mentor speak to the kids and find out the true science on why the kid is acting like that. Like, it all have to come with, it got to be in some form of comfort zone.
Right. I got a question. What kind of when it comes to pertaining to parenting, do you believe the parents should be hands-on in the kid's business, or let the kid go and grow up and as they're gonna grow up? How would you parent?
I mean, I feel it should be hands-on, because if you let the kid grow on his own, like, a child can't raise a child, only a parent could. So, like, for example, with me, my mother was hands-on, but about time she became hands-on, I was already too far off in the streets.
Right.
So, and when I'm saying too far off is that I started going to prison. I started going to juvenile at a very young age. So by me going to juvenile at that young age, I was already seeing stuff and gaining some form of reputation. Whereas I looked at the older dudes as adult figures to me. So I'm not saying that I mimicked them, but I idolized them to the point whereas it wouldn't be nothing that I wouldn't do for them.
Right.
If they would have told me, yo, go to school, I'd have went to school.
So it's about having a positive. So it's about having positive people around you as well in your circle, man, making sure that child is confident, is covered, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have the right form of people, the right community people. Okay. So any more questions for my co-host?
Oh, of course. Of course. Okay. Well, Mike, is there anything that you want to kind of just put out on the table on the platform?
No, my main thing is that, it's all about showing unity, teaching and training. It's all about helping others. It's each one teach one. So, we come together and come up with something and just be able to teach. Because like for example with me, I did 12 years. My last time in prison, I did 12 years. The majority of that time in prison, I was taught by many mentors. So I know about investing. I know about how to build business credit. I know about how to structure LLCs. I know about budgeting, financing. I could bring a lot to the table, whereas I could help a lot of people. But like I said, it all starts with an adult. So it's a lot of people that I was locked up with and people that I met on the street that's coming to me to help me teach them. And they could teach their community. That's why I said earlier that I can't teach your community, only you could at first, because they ain't gonna believe in me. My community already know the hell that I put that community through.
Right.
So by them knowing that and seeing me come out of prison reformed, their first question is like, what happened and why? Yo, teach me what you know. I teach my community teach others.
Agreed, man. I always say, man, you know, everybody be on the hate stuff, man, but it's like the more of us that we stick together, that's another link for someone to help you out. You know what I mean? So we all have to stick together. We all have to root each other on, and it's all about knowledge, man. You know, like you said, we didn't know any better. We was in the hood. We was doing dirt, but you know, now we know better. So you know, I applaud you what you're doing, man. I applaud everything. Any outside links you want to do? You know, you want to give your platforms?
Yeah, well, you can, you know, for all those that's listening, you know, you can reach me on Facebook at the Life After Prison page on Facebook, or my personal page, Mike Curry, or you can you know, you can order the book from the Life After Prison, or my website, Unseen Hands. It's UNSENHANDZ.com.
Right.
You know, you can find Shattered Dreams there. You can find 3 Pounds of Pressure. You can find all the other books that the company came out with. We came out with a book called Daddy Issues. That was actually the first book that came out under Unseen Hands. And then we came up with another book called The Antidote. So, you know, in the first year, we pumped out 4 books. And this year, we're going to do a little more than that. So everything is going as planned. And, you know, our next phase is, you know, education. Is to teach others how to write books, to teach others how to understand the publishing game in and out. So, you know, Unseen Hands got a few things that's gonna spark off this year, and I just hope the world's ready.
Yeah, man. We look forward to having Daddy Issues, man, come up, man, in the Antidote. We wanna have both of y'all probably do a joint session so we can have both of y'all come up and speak, man. We love what you're bringing to the table, man. You bring a lot of you know, unique features, man, because not a lot of people, like you said, you have to go through it for people to understand you. You see what I'm saying? Not everybody can walk your shoes, man, you know. And unfortunate, we went through it, man, but we can teach a lot. So again, man, this is Mike Curry, man. You know, What's the Word Radio, man. You know, again, J.Williams, Wrong Turn Right, source of information. Make sure you get them. We're gonna work. Matter of fact, we're gonna talk about, man, getting 3 Pounds of Pressure into Frugal Bookstore this week. So we're gonna work that out. And yeah, let's make it happen, man. Again, co-host is out. 100 authors. See you next week. Cheer. Absolutely. One.
Jay, why don't you stay on and then tell us a little bit about your books? But Mike, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Hello. Well, as everybody knows, man, I'm J.Williams, man, aka 8, man, born and raised in Boston, Mass. You know, did 12 years, came out about 6 years ago, man, after completing a natural life sentence. Man, I'm a big community activist. I came out, started Casual Business Moves Publishing / media. We do a lot of the events, man, but at first, comes to books, Wrong Turn Right. That's the first one. And part two, Source of Information. These are true story based on my life, man, growing up, and some of the time spent with during the Source magazine with Benzino, traveling the world. So, a little bit of everything.
So I started.
I can't hear you.
Oh,
Okay.
can you hear me now? Can you
I hear you. I hear you.
So I started reading the book and I was like, whoa, he's like brought me so close into his life and to like talk about being a young kid and what's going on in the neighborhood. It just kind of it was a different piece of you and
Right.
knowing you, right? So I think that what was it that just kind of made you start
I
thinking?
can't hear. Okay.
What made you start thinking in a different way? Because in a sense, from the beginning of your book, you had your own mindset. Can you hear me?
Right.
You
Well,
hear me?
yeah, I think like, growing up, man, no one was there to guide us, man. So, like Mike said, man, you go out if you're not really taught, you go out on the street, man, you learn on the street and you kind of emulate what's going around you, man. And around that time, it was the height of the crack era and the gang banging. So all around me, you have about 10 to 12 kids, man, on every street corner. And that's what they do. They're gang banging, they're hanging, the camaraderie. And you coming up, you see that you wanna emulate that. You want that bond, So I came into the world, man, emulating that. And then after jail and seeing everybody doing long time, you kind of realize, wow, we was taught a lie, man. Everything that we cherished, everything that we held on strong to was a life of destruction. It led to a place that was going to lead to jail. It's going to lead to pain and your family hurting. So that right there, just I consider myself a smart person. So that right there was a wake up call and just being able to realize it.
So when
Okay.
so a lot of things are going on with the music industry nowadays, right? And
Right.
a lot of people are saying, "Oh, these kids, they're being disrespectful, they're being this." Some of us feel that maybe some of the kids are really expressing themselves, right?
Right.
And they want to be heard. What kind of platforms do you think would be helpful for the young kids? Because some of them, I think, and even for me, you don't always know how to go to, you don't always know who is that person that's really going to help you.
Right. Well, that's the problem, man, is that we don't have enough programs for the youth. We have all this gang violence going on, man, but we don't have enough people to really speak to the people, man. You don't have people to go in there, man, and the people that they respect that's going to be able to qualm the beef or just, talk some sense, man, because this is a lifestyle of a generation, man. It's just not them. A lot of these kids are beefing and they don't even know what they're beefing over. So it's like, man, we have to put the programs, and it starts with people that been through it, man. It starts like me and Mike Curry and Sean Ellis's and the Diamonds, man. It's the people who have done long time who was working with these kids in the jail, and that can come out and they'll really listen to, because we've had these programs up for like 20, 30 years and like nobody's listening. So I think that we need to scratch that and start all over, you know?
And so we're saying what I'm hearing you say is let's look at who we have as instructors. Let's
Right. I think we need to throw out, they always say, man, in part like politics, man, you're part of the old system, you know what I mean? And I think that we need fresh blood, man. We need the youth of yesterday trying to cheer on and mentor the youth of today, because they've been there. They can say, listen, man, that road you're going through, I've already been through that, and if that bump is coming, you know, you haven't seen that bump, but it's around the corner. It's right there, but you haven't seen it because it's around the corner. We have been there, and we can tell them the road they're going through, and hopefully lead them to a better path, man, of success, man, you know, growth and development.
And so even with what I'm hearing is that if there's some young kids that maybe don't want to be doing what they're doing, the only person they know to go to right now is possibly their teacher, or
Right.
right, that's outside of the home, possibly the teacher, maybe, someone at the church. But if you were able to like put a notice out there, and if somebody that needed some kind of help because they didn't want to be doing what they were doing, what kind of advice could you give them? I mean, like, when you're in that moment, it's left, you want to do the right turn
I
right,
would say, man,
huh?
yeah, I would say, man, before you take that wrong turn, you have to understand, man, every step you take follows you. You know, everything you do is going to reflect on you as in tomorrow life, and you have to make a decision of where you want to be. And it's easy. You could just look around you. You can look at the guys that was hustling before you that's still on the block, man. The 40-year-olds, the 50-year-olds, the late 30-year-olds. You can see that path they took, and you can see, okay, how many won, how many was winning and everything. So my thing is, you have to plan for the future. You can never look at right now as I'm just living life. No, because everything follows you. So I would say, before you take that wrong turn, realize that everybody has taken that, and there's only a small percentage who have come out of it right. So it's what you want out of life, you know.
So when Black and brown people, maybe some others say, I didn't even, here I am 18 and I didn't think I was going to live to 18, or here I am 21 and I didn't even think I was going to make it to this point. At that point, what you're talking about is what they taught us. They made us to believe that we weren't going to be around. So,
Right.
you know, that is the mindset I would love for us to be able to, you know, tap into, like, before it goes to that space where you feel like you have no hope, because a lot of us can be in a place where we can't even dream, right? So
Right.
imagine being caught in a situation. How are you supposed to dream and make sure that that is a realistic dream? And
Well,
those,
I think. Oh,
no, go ahead.
go ahead. I apologize.
No, go ahead.
Well, I think you always have to believe in yourself. Like, don't not worry about what everybody, like, no idea you think of is dumb. It's always just, a time frame that you're stuck in. And that could be a wonderful thing, it could be a bad thing. But never stop believing in yourself, no matter how many times you fail. Even Jay-Z, he was probably rapping 10, 12 years before he came out. You have to be in a place of, I know I can make it. And as long as you have faith in yourself, you can do great things. But first, you have to start executing, man. You have to walk that path of righteousness. You can't be doing bad and then expect good to come out of it. You have to make a decision, man. And I think, man, you're not a sucker for getting a trade. You're not a sucker for getting a job. You're not a sucker for, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna hang on the block 24/7 like everybody else. You have to know what you want, man, and you have to just, if you're before that time, I would say, man, just get a school, go to school, have fun. College is something that all of us missed out on, and it's like probably one of the greatest experiences that we'll never see. So I say, man, just take what life has coming to you, because you never know what you can be. You know what you're gonna be on the street corner. You know how far you're gonna get. But when you go to school, when you educate your mind, you don't know where you're going to end up in life. you might be the dumbest person in class and then be a billionaire. You see what I'm saying? So it's just about, man, striving for something better, knowing that your environment is not the end all, and knowing that just because everybody's doing bad, you can't do good. That's all.
So are you able to like tell us a little bit about your most recent I don't know if it's a gig or it's
Oh yeah, well, oh,
yeah,
you talk about the juvenile. So
yeah,
yeah, I did. So bi-weekly, man. I just had a Zoom call, man, with a bunch of juveniles, probably three full classrooms full. It's just about just trying to get their brains, man, out of the mind state they're already in. They're already wrong because they did. They've done something, but that doesn't make them a bad person. That doesn't make them, okay, just because you can come. A lot of people have went to jail and come out and been great. So about what do they want out of life? What are their goals, man? Where do they see themselves in life? And what's some of the things that brought them down? And it was mind blowing because I was looking at some of them as like a young me. You know what I mean? You could spot the knuckleheads. You could spot the ones that you'd be like, oh, he's gonna be in trouble. And those were the ones I was kind of focusing on, man. And they came around. They loved the spill. They was interested in reading the books, man. And I look forward to seeing them real soon.
I mean, that's got to, as far as giving back and all of the other things you're doing, Jay, that's got to feel very rewarding. Just being able to be in a situation where they can ask you questions.
Yeah, I mean, I think so long, man. We was the ones that everybody's pointing at to, like, don't be around that person. You know what I mean? You see him run, man. You know what I mean? So it's refreshing, man, for to see parents like to call me. And I get a lot of calls. I get a lot of people reaching out to me. Oh, my son's in trouble. Can you speak to him? Oh, my son just got locked up. Can you give any legal advice on this case? And I'm here to help the community any which way, man. Whether it's legal work, man, whether it's you trying to start a business, or whether you just trying to get out the game, man. If I can lend my hand, man, to just saving a life, man, that's what it's about, man. We lost lives on both sides, man, and it's something that you can't never get back. It's something as an adult you look at and you think is senseless now. But back then you're looking at it as a number. You know, looking at your friends as a number. We're up 1-2, or we're up 3-4. Like your boys were numbers. You see what I'm saying? So you have to really like recognize, man, the friendships that we lose, man. These guys are going for life, man. You ain't never getting them back. You know what I mean? And these guys probably were brothers and sisters and just people that you really loved. So it's all about, man, just making the right decision for you, your family, and your future.
So Jay,
Talk to me
ask
now.
you, this is great. I think this is probably our first time we've had a live interview, isn't it? I mean, we
Right, right,
talk all
right.
the time,
We talk all
uh,
the time, but
right?
yeah, but
Right.
yeah.
So what I love as well is what that shirt that you're wearing stands for.
GGL, gangster going legit. You already know, man.
Yeah. And for that, when you first started talking to me about it, I just said that is something that I am behind, right? And
Right.
this is something we want to tell all the young kids that, it's okay to be a nerd. It's okay to be a nerd.
Right.
And
Wait, what's that?
that, let me see. Okay, we'll take care of that in a minute. Oh, Okay, there you
All
go.
right, go ahead.
No, I put you on pause. Go ahead. So, you know, we talked about, you know, if someone needs some help and what you're trying to offer right now, and you know, what some of the young kids that just want to be in a program or just want help. I even think, you know, even reaching out to somebody in GGL and saying, hey, I'm trying to look for some help. I'm just trying to think about,
Right.
right, where can somebody go right now? Because right now it's all about, we're saying, hey, we're out here, but where are we? But
I
to me,
mean, well, I listen, man. There's been, I know a lot of people who've been running some great programs, man. You know, from back in the days, from Conan Harris to, you know, Leroy people. Like, come on, Bum. You know, Vidal. Like these guys, man, have been in the community. These guys have already served in enshrined, but it's just a couple. You see what I'm saying? It takes a whole community, man. It takes, man, because a kid might talk to me from Mattapan, but someone from Roxbury won't. You see what I'm saying? So it takes, man, it takes leaders in every community, every section of Boston, man, for them to just be able to reach out and just, you know, if and that's what you should want to do anyway. Listen, if you was in the game and you came up in our generation and you seen what it did, you seen who survived it, and you, of course, man, all of us got plenty of friends that died. We got plenty of friends that's in jail and plenty of friends that's never coming out of jail. At this age, man, you should be talking to the youth anyway. That should be one of your duties in the community, man, just to be like, listen, I've been there. Even if you're a square knows everything and seen everything that's happened, man. So they can tell some street shit, man, and you get some knowledge and you thinking, oh, I'm in the streets, he's a square. He's seen it all, man. So I would say, man, just anybody in your community who's older, man, because those should be the pillars, man, and people that want to help you in anyways.
so is
Yeah,
that something like
I'll
what
give you that.
the something like what the wise guys had been doing or did?
Right. So I mean Benzino, man, I say back in the days, man, Benzino started a project, man, which is now known as the Boston Miracle, man. And he basically, man, when he did that, he brought a bunch of crews together. And one of the agreements were we couldn't war because we're all trying to make money, you know. And that's one of the things that the city is missing, man. You want these youths to listen, man, but not putting no money in their hands, man. You know, the youths are they're used to the hustling. Giving them a 9 to 5 job, man, making minimum wage, they're not gonna take that.
Right.
So, you know, he created a vision, man, where basically, man, you know, it fed into their dreams. All of us, well, you know, everybody in their crew wanted to had a rapper. Everybody was dreaming about someone getting big and taking their crew out of the hood. So, you know, we did that, and that kind of stopped violence across Boston, man, for like a whole year. Police took claim to it, and you know, but it helped the community, and that's what we need to get back to. We need to get back to a platform that brings everybody in, not just from Mattapan, from everybody, from not just from Roxbury, but different sections in Roxbury, different spread it out, man, and bring everybody together because that creates a unity where everybody has something to lose. Then everybody stops the madness, you know. But it all has to come with money. Nobody's gonna do anything and without the bag being it. You have the right platforms. I'm trying one.
Okay, that creating that bag and that platform.
Good.
So creating that creating that bag and that platform, it's like, what is the right amount? But or is it something in that's cash, but something that definitely says, here is a path. Here's a path
Well,
you get to start on, and we'll hold your hand through it.
right. And I basically have set up a plan, man, basically of a path that I want to take, man. And hopefully that's something I'll be able to bring later on in this year, man. And it's a plan. It's a plan to execute, stop violence and cut it, and hopefully, give these youth, man, something to relate to, man, something that they can strive for and just be like, okay, this is gonna be better than me staying on the street. And I'm working with a lot of community leaders, man, building the table up, man, and hopefully, man, everybody can come to eat.
Good.
That's what
Good.
it's all about.
Well, I want to make sure to invite people to follow us as we continue this 100 author series. I think this is a path for anyone who is a published author. Reach out to Jay, and Jay will talk to you. Even if you're interested in just getting on that path, reach out to Jay and to try to get some inspiration or some guidance. But what we are doing is laying this platform or creating this because we know that we have to reach our hand back to help bring everybody on up because somebody did that for us, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So show us the books again. You want to show us your books
Good.
again?
So again, man,
Or you want to
you
show
can
us your book?
contact me on Wrong Turn Right, and we have
There
part
you go.
two source of information. You can reach me at Vacato88 on IG. I have a big event coming tomorrow, so you can reach me, man, at Casual Business Move Publishing. But yeah, man, I just want everybody, man. It's time for us to come together. We have a great platform. We're gonna be sharing a lot of things. We're gonna be creating a lot of different events, and we're gonna keep you entertained, man, throughout the year. Matter of fact, man, some of the things you want to talk about, man, the 100 rappers or whatever, some of the platforms we might want to do in the summertime, man, for that we're gonna be looking for. We're gonna be trying to do a lot of things, man, and I want everybody to be a part. It's not about us. It's all about us, man. You know what I mean? As a
Exactly.
whole.
Exactly. I submitted a couple of grant requests to do some things in Grove Hall. And it's all about just trying to go wherever we can to spread it because there are ways that we can create these creative paths because we just don't have to listen to all of that extra outside input and focus on our communities and focus on our young people, all of our young people, and help them be in a position where
Right.
they can take an elected official seat to be part of the defunding board, or they may be in line to run for a city council position. I mean, that is the kind of path that I'm hoping that we can create. We can there's the Welcome Project in Somerville. They've created these networking opportunities for young kids in the community to meet up with people from the colleges so that they can already begin that networking because as um,
Mm,
we know if you start believing it and seeing it right, you can conceive it, right? And those are the
right.
kind of environments that a lot of us want to do. And shout out to all that you're doing, Jay. Shout out to all that GGL, what it represents. I sometimes on Saturday morning, I play the song, the GGL song, because, it's about we've got to give back
Right.
so that we all can move forward, right? Because I
Right.
don't really want to leave any of these kids behind. And it's not their issue. They're looking at us like, what was our issue?
Right.
So,
Well, we want to commend you as well, man, because you're everywhere. Everybody who needs an assistant and a helping hand, everybody knows, man. She's on every platform. This is one platform, but as you see, man, she got the elephant in the room, sweatshirt, man. Shout
oh,
out, man.
You know it.
Shout out to Fib. And so, listen, man, that's what it's all about, man. It's all about, man, just being a community, sticking together, and let's, we're building, man. It's
Right.
it's coming together like gorilla glue, man. But we're gonna stick it on. We ain't coming out, man. So, listen, with us soon, man. We're gonna be back, of course.
We're going to be back. We're going to keep this going.
Any words to any final?
Any final words?
I'll let you
I just I just want to say thank you.
Definitely,
Definitely going to have to work on this audio and the feedback and find out if it's something that I can do better for our next interview in a couple of weeks. But I'm loving this format. And once again, thank you for gelling with me. And let's keep this moving. And we're not even in the summertime and it's feeling good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, man. Hey, man, everybody, see you soon. Once again, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. 100 authors, J.Williams, Wrong Turn Right, Source of Information. What's the Word Radio? And we out.
We out. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, let me just give a little notice, everyone. We were going to have a second part to the interview tonight with Kango Kid with his story about his new season premiere, Fairy Tale Lovers. And but that interview is going to happen tomorrow. So I'll post an update on Facebook, and then we can, we'll share it tomorrow with you. And we can share all of the updates about what's going on with him, what's going on with the new season. And we have a host, How Music, who will be conducting the interview tomorrow. So stay tuned. I want to thank you again. I want everybody, if you can, become active in the community. Be mindful of what's going on in your area. If you can support local organizations, please do so. If you can't, then help the schools, help the teachers. To everyone, peace and love. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you.